friends, welcome to my humble homestead. So I am working right now, but I just wanted to quickly introduce this video. So I've been busy here on the homestead trying to get some seedlings started, which if you've watched my last few videos, you know that has been, well, it's been a challenge. And so this week it's going to be raining again. So the things that I want to do is I just got my beeswax pellets. So I want to make that cayenne salve, which is for pain. It's supposed to help arthritis. It's supposed to help muscle pain, headaches, migraines, all kinds of things. It's supposed to be amazing. So I'm going to make that. And I'm going to try to start some more peppers and tomatoes inside. So we're going to try to get that going. I really don't know everything that's going to come up in my winter sowing. I don't know what's going to survive out of my big tornado disaster in my greenhouse. So I'm just going to try. Everybody says, Trina, it's early. Just give it a start. And I mean, if I have to buy starts, I will, but I really want to save money. I really want to try to be frugal. My UK friends who let us know that we are loved every time I watch them, the Wallflowers UK channel, that is a great channel to watch. They do such great grocery hauls. They have food initiatives in the UK. So if you're in that area and you want to check out their channel, and Homestead Tessie, she is in the US and she shows ways to save money in groceries the way that I do it, because I live in the country here and I try to not go to the grocery store. The way that I preserve food for my own health too is I try to grow as much as I can. I don't have meat here. I do have my little chickens now, so I'm going to get my eggs, but I try to support my local farmers. So I do, order half a pig for my friends. My kids and I are going in on a cow, so we have that coming. It's at the butcher now. And down the road, I found a farm that has meat birds, so I ordered 6 chickens from them. And today in this video, what I'm going to do is I am going to show you me cooking a bunch of pork different ways. So I'm trying to empty out my freezer, make some room for the cow that's coming. And I thought I'd just share a really funny story. Well, it wasn't funny when I was a kid, but my grandparents had a farm. They used to raise animals. And when we were little, we had a pig we named Petunia. And so we used to take care of that pig and we played with it. And, we were just little kids. We didn't really get the whole circle of life thing. One day we didn't even realize, but all of a sudden we thought, Petunia hasn't been around for a while. Where has she been? And so we were sitting at the table and we asked Grandma and Gramps, where's Petunia? And they just started looking at each other and they thought they were laughing, and we were having breakfast and they looked down at the bacon, and I was too young to get it, but everybody else thought it was just the funniest thing. And then we all cried and cried, and my grandparents said that we didn't eat bacon or pork for probably like the next month or so after that. And while they were living, I remember being an adult and they still told that story and they thought it was the funniest thing. They just thought it was hilarious. So yeah, anyway. But now we know that, we give these animals the best life that they have, and then they give back to us. And that's really God's intent. It is the circle of life. So today I'm going to process some pork 3 different ways. And I will show you how I'm going to cook that. I'm going to make some ham and potato soup. I am going to make some Greek yogurt pork chops. I also took a roast out of the freezer that I have marinated. I'll try to find that marinated and link it in the video below. So here we are, everybody. Some meal prep videos, long awaited. And this is how I also save money, because then what I do is it's me here. So I cook up the food and then I divide this up into meals, and then individual meals, whatever I don't eat, I will freeze into individual meals, and then I'll have food for other meals ahead. It's so great to have meals for such a long period of time. I can just pull them out of the freezer when I don't feel like cooking, or days that I'm busy out in the yard, or days that I'm working and I just want to pull something out. It's so great to just have a quick meal. It's already ready. It's just like pulling out like a little TV dinner, but it's already pre-prepped. So that is how I save money. I cook from scratch at home. I try to eat healthy for my own health as well. So that is kind of how I do it. And yes, so I hope you enjoy this video, how I meal prep. If you like videos like this, please like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. So yeah, here it is, everybody. See you in a bit. Hi friends, welcome to my humble homestead and gardenside chat. Today I need to make something for dinner. I didn't have anything pulled out, but I do have a ham bone. So I am going to use my Instant Pot. I have some celery, I have some carrots, and I have an onion, and I do also have some potatoes. I'm thawing out some buttermilk that I made from some butter that I had made. I have some butter in here. And I am going to make some ham and potato soup in the Instapot. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to chop up these carrots, celery, onion, and I'm going to saute them in the butter. Let me get this on saute. I have no glasses on. I think that's maybe saute. I think it's saute. Oh, yes, it looks like saute. Okay, so I'm going to chop these up, throw them in there, saute them for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to go grab some chicken broth off my pantry, throw that in there with a ham bone for about 20 minutes on pressure, and then I'm going to let the steam release and add some potatoes, and we'll go with that. So yeah, just make a really quick, simple supper with what I have here. So yeah, we'll let you know how it turns out. Thought it would be kind of good just to use up what I have, not waste this ham bone, which is awesome. Sometimes I make like a ham and bean or ham and split pea soup and can it, but I thought, you know what, it's not super big, and I thought this would be perfect to just make enough for me to have for dinner for the next couple nights, and if there's some extra I can freeze it for in the future. And I know some of you probably chop your stuff up smaller, which if I want it smaller, I'll use my chopper, but I don't mind. Oh, this is there we go. This is, I'm just going to do it kind of quick, so I don't mind nice big chunks of veggies in my soup. So just something kind of quick to do on my day off. I haven't really had an appetite, so I thought some soup would be perfect. And then let me do some celery and then the onion. Look over and wash this. I'll do about 4 stalks of celery here. All right, so let me get this chopped up and sauteed up, and then I will show you what I do before I put it on pressure. See you in a minute. All right, so now I've had this going for about 5 minutes. I added a little bit of sage, pepper, tiny bit of salt. I didn't really put very much salt in there because we are going to add a ham bone. I am going to add some broth in here. I open it here. There we go. So I'm just going to add 1 jar of broth. And then I'm just going to add my bone. There we go. And I am just going to put my lid on, seal the pressure, and I am going to put this on pressure for 20 minutes. And when it is done, I'm going to let it release. And then when it's done, I'm going to chop up some potatoes here, dice them up kind of small, about the size of the carrots, add those back in, and then pressure them for 5 more minutes. So I will show you that in a bit. See you soon. All right, so here is the soup after 20 minutes of pressure cooking. Now I'm going to add some potatoes that I cut up here. I have some red and I had a couple Yukon Golds left here, so I'm going to add those in here, and then I'm going to close it, and I am going to pressure it for about another 5 minutes, and then I will let it slow release. And then you can either eat it just like this, or I'm actually going to put some, I'll probably take this little bit of meat off the bone, mostly just in here for flavor. And then I have some, what do you call it? Some buttermilk that I have from when I made butter. And I might just add that in there and make it more of a cream soup. But if you don't want a cream soup, or if you're dairy free, you can just eat it like this when it's done. All right, so I'm just going to pressure this for another 5 minutes, and then it will be done. All right, so here's the soup. I'm going to dump a little bit of this buttermilk in there to make it a little bit creamy soup. It still kind of stayed light, but I am going to enjoy a bowl of this now. I can pull some of the meat off the bone. Look at that. Looks delicious. A little steamy there. Whoop. Okay, I will show you a picture of it in the bowl. Bon appetit, everybody. Hi, friends. So I am continuing with some easy meal prep here. In this bag, I have my Greek pork chops. And I have a bunch of yogurt that I need to use up. So I'm going to turn these into some baked Greek yogurt pork chops. Now these can also be done on the grill. They're amazing, but I'm just going to bake them in my air fryer oven. So these I already have. Now these can also be, these I prep ahead of time as the Greek pork chops. You probably can freeze the yogurt in there too, but I just add the yogurt extra. So these can just be prepped as Greek pork chops, frozen. And in here, what I have 3 cloves of garlic, minced, a half a lemon juiced, 1.5 tablespoons of Greek spice mix. And how I make my Greek spice mix, or what I use in there, is I use onion flakes, thyme, Greek oregano, salt, dill, garlic powder, pepper, marjoram, basil, and parsley. I just make a batch of it, and I use the rest of it in this, otherwise I would show you. I make a batch and I just kind of make it to taste. And I mix it in a jar, mix it up, and I dump it in. So that's how I do it. I will put below the recipe, how I make that, and I'll link that below since it's already pre-made. Then I add a teaspoon of olive oil in here with 4 pork chops. All right, so to this, I'm gonna add a cup of my yogurt. This is the yogurt that I make. And I will just add a cup. Let's see if I can pour it out. My yogurt is pretty thick, but it is pouring out okay. So I'm going to add a cup of this, and then I am just going to mix this up in the baggie here. And I'm just going to give this a nice little mix up here to get all the seasonings and the flavors coated up well in these pork chops. This would be good on chicken too, lamb. It would be really good on Greek spices is super yummy on lamb. If some of you don't eat pork, I have an overabundance of pork in my freezer. So this is what I'm using. And I am going to put this in a baking dish here, and I am going to bake this in my air fryer oven. Now, I'm not going to bake this. I actually have to work today, so I'm not going to bake this till later. So I'm going to cover this, put it in my fridge, and just let this kind of marinate for a while, like this. I have a lid for this pan. Actually going to get all the rest of the goodness out. And then I am going to bake this later, probably at 300. And I'll bake it for, I'd say, about a good, probably 40 minutes. I'll use a meat thermometer, make sure it's cooked perfect. And then I'll show you what it looks like later. Here we have another easy meal, just thrown together like that. I'll probably pair it with the baked potatoes and some vegetables. All right, thanks so much for watching, you guys. Okay, and for tonight's supper, I just found roast in my freezer that I had pre-prepped. This is an orange marmalade roast. There are some jalapenos in here. I will link the video below where I did make this. And I'm just going to throw it in my slow cooker. And I don't know what I'll have it with. I'll find something, but I just pulled it out of my freezer and thought I'd throw this together this should make a few nights meals. So I'll show you what this looks like when it gets done. I might make probably some rice or something to go with it. So, all right. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I'll show you the finished product. Have a great day and be blessed. Bye.